hearing there is so much going on at the tables. What would be something that you would share first with a large group? Either an experience, an insight, a question, a different opinion, whatever, to the presenters or to everyone. Can somebody just raise a hand and... Yeah. Could you stand up so that we can connect the person?
That's too healthy for me to stand and sit. Stand. Sorry, I'm Martin from Sydney Convention Bureau. So we just had a question about to Ellie about the obesity certification for the sort of healthy venue. Is that something that the venue needs to pay to be accredited? And do you go back and then re-accredit or check on their accreditation every year and update the accreditation as you go?
It's a fairly new program that we've put together, so it's still in its fledgling form. But there is a fee. It's not a huge fee, I don't think. And then we do ask venues to re-accredit for a smaller amount of money each year. There's also, as you'd have seen from the slides, there's a tiered system, so we have a bronze, silver and gold level of accreditation, and the criteria gets more and more robust the further up you go.
Thank you. Any more? Yeah. Stand up so that people can...
Yeah. Okay. Hello, I'm Sabine. I just wanted to ask you one of the questions. We are now at the meeting here at the moment. We are using plastic holders. We have a tracking thing which has electronic. What are we going to do in the end with that? So don't we need to think first in little steps before? I mean, it's great to have a convention center green, but if we don't do the rest green, for me it doesn't make much sense to have an accreditation on the convention center, and then the organizer comes in and is using all things which cannot be reused or which are ending up as waste somewhere. And especially the electronic stuff is really a problem. I know it's fancy and I like it, and it's great to track your participants, what they're doing. But I think we have to think a little more overall than not just doing. I don't like the green approach if it's not done overall. So did you also think about that?
I think, first of all, what I like very much in the Austrian system is that we are not qualifying infrastructure, but we embrace the client and the event the client is organizing. I mean, yesterday night you have been at the Hofburg. It's impossible to make the Hofburg a green building. I mean, it's 600 years old. Yeah? But in the operation way, they can introduce green elements, and in the whole green meeting certification process, for the Hofburg you might get 12 points instead of the maximum number of 20 points for the venue, but you can collect points in the operation of your meeting. And that goes from promoting public transport, returning the badges when you leave the conference, etc., etc. I mean, you can't avoid everything, but you can recycle and reuse, and that reduces already.
Okay, thank you. Some more insights, questions, experiences? Yeah. Yeah, you want to say more?
Yeah. Oh, maybe something additional to the topic of the badges, because that's one of the typical questions that you're facing when you want to be more sustainable. First thought is, okay, that's plastic, don't use it any longer. But if you give it a second thought, then that's what we always try to give it, and have a, a cycle approach to it, then it's better to use plastic and use it as often as possible instead of using products from, biodegradable plastic or things like that, and that you use it only once and produce waste. So it's not as sexy as it might be to use plastic, but it's more important to us to think even farther and to see what does it mean in the whole. Yeah, if you're looking at the whole system, and I'm sure you're going to use it further on, yeah, and not only once.
Thank you. More questions?
Hi, Sue Wilkes, Gold Coast Convention Bureau. In regard to Ellie, what you were saying about putting in the RFP and putting in criteria to say, you know, we need it to be green, I think that should be rolled out across the board, like promoted so much to all associations, but also can that be part of the accreditation process to the venues and the destination stuff so that they know that they have to ask that question too? Do you know, so it goes from both sides? Two-pronged approach?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, with the venues that we work with, it's something that we discuss with them and the associations that they work with. And obviously it's, you know, we're very much staying away from talking about healthy venues being something that you can use to market yourselves with. But it is certainly something that venues should be very proud to have. It's a strong kite mark, and it's backed up by robust criteria from academics and healthcare professionals. And it's something definitely that they can be discussing with associations to try and encourage them to, because like you say, it's a full circle approach, isn't it? It's down to the venue to make it possible for that provision. It's down to the association to add the accoutrement that they're bringing that also fall in line with a healthy provision, and then for the delegates to actually embrace it, because if the delegates don't want to do it, then the associations aren't going to demand it and the venues aren't going to follow. It's everyone, it's full circle.
Okay. We have time for one more. Can be a question or sharing or some trends.
Hello, Hushiza from Malaysia Convention Bureau. Regarding the venue accreditation that you require from each venue, okay, when you submit the RFP, the proposal that is being put forward, do you have this green accreditation? Do you practice this? If the venue just put yes, you know, we are doing this, we are doing that, and then when you go for the site inspection, you look at all the preparations, it fulfills what you are looking for, you choose the venue, and then post-event, do you do an audit to make sure that all those things are being carried out?
The criteria for
the
being
criteria
a healthy venue.
and all whether the practice is really in practice, whether these things that have been fulfilled, whether they make the effort, or was it just on paper and just to get the business?
Yeah, that's a great question. It's probably for all of us here, I think. But
Closer.
sorry.
Mic.
Okay, sorry. Yes, definitely. We're a small organisation. For us to travel to every venue that we accredit is nigh on impossible. We rely very heavily on the venues we're working with to be truthful and work closely with us, and also for the associations, because the associations, if they want a healthy event, they're going to demand it. So if they don't get the service that they're expecting, then they're going to report back to us.